on the road somewhere in Texas. I left Seagraves this morning, a little place I stay in, and on my way to a place called Comfort, Texas, and I just gassed up for $2.92. It's the first time I've paid under $3 a gallon in a long time, probably since last time I was in Texas. But gotta love Texas. Many reasons to love Texas. A couple things on this is, if you've been not living under a rock, you saw that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. came out on Friday and endorsed President Trump. They're a team now, among all the teams. If you haven't had a chance to watch his speech, it's about 46 minutes that he did on why he left the Democratic Party, why he ran as an independent, why he's joining forces with Trump. I highly recommend it. No matter what you think, this is all about expanding your base. A large part of that talk, he explains that, but a large part of that, he talks about children's health and why he wants to be able to help with our nation's health, which he has been an advocate for a year, for his whole life, decades. So a large part of that is, and I was mentioning to somebody the other day, I've always liked RFKJr. We've followed him, our company, people like me followed him for years regarding his advocate for health, general well-being. He's a true environmentalist lawyer. He's done a lot of things over the years. True environmentalism, not the fake Green New Deal stuff that just hinges on money. But the thing about RFK Jr. that I respect anybody is he's always been consistent to his cause. He's always done. If you go back in history, he's always stuck to. He always talks about what he's interested in. He walks the walk and talks the talk. Unlike a lot of these politicians that flip-flop and talk out both sides of their mouth, he's never done that. He's been consistent. I respect him for that alone. I may not agree with all his beliefs, but you have to think of it. Kennedy comes from a dynasty. It's, the Camelot of America. I mean, his uncle and his father were the Democrat Party. And if you've got somebody like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. telling you that the Democrat Party is not even what it used to be, from his family that are icons of the Democratic Party, you have to think in your head, something's up, maybe. Maybe you ought to look into that. Because if you don't start thinking about this bigger picture that I talk about, it's going to be to your own peril. So that's huge news a lot in itself. And I'll be posting that talk and other things. But he really gets into the deep down of America's health, and especially the children. We are in a dismal state right now. Now, for those that don't know, after my career in Hollywood, as an international distribution sales agent, producer, I produced some movies. I got out of LA and moved back to Idaho. This is about going on 20 years ago, to quit a few things and get my health back together. I met my business partner, Wendy, and we started a holistic wellness company in Texas. So we've been doing this stuff. If you look at the speech that RFK Jr. talks about, everything he talks about in advocating for children's health, our health, general health of the population, getting away from big pharma, getting away from processed foods. He talks about all this in depth, is what we've been teaching for over 15 years now. So this all ties in. It all ties into why the stances I took when COVID came and all that is that I say to everybody, allopathic medicine, which is mainstream medicine, the surgeries and all that we go through, has a place, but it's not the be all and end all of everything. And we've been teaching these things for 15 plus years. I've been living it. There's always an alternative. There's always another opinion. There's always an alternative for your health. I've been sick in years, all through the COVID thing, and I was doing my thing. I didn't take the vaccine. I've talked about that ad nauseum. Anybody that has followed me sees it. And at 62, I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm doing something right. So my point being is that we have been advocating and teaching this stuff for years about the state of our children that are being drugged up at 6 years old for ADHD, that are being antidepressants, the food they're eating, where America is more obese than it's ever been. type 2 diabetes, which used to be a blip on the scale. Now it's just ridiculous. We're in a bad state. And where did that all come from? It comes from government oversight, corporations, everything that we preached, I talked about for years and years and years. We're in a bad shape health-wise. So this is what I've been teaching a lot, part of what I've been teaching, but for the last 15 years, it's what we've been teaching. We've been helping people get off all their big pharma, off their statin drugs, which are cholesterol-lowering drugs, or diabetes medicine drugs. We've had type 2 diabetes people come to us that have been on their meds for 6, 7 years, 10 years, that are off their meds per their doctor's orders within 3 months. People getting off high blood pressure medicine, low testosterone, all these things we've worked on naturally over the years. We have the numbers to prove it, people like us. So it resonates with me on that level alone that RFKJr is coming out and he's going to have a position in this administration to really dictate the health and bring down the corruption that's in our food supply, that's in the FDA, that's in all these things that and people like me have talked about and shouted from the rooftops for decades now. It is such a refreshing thing to know that somebody who's a true advocate for true health, truth, and what can work is going to come in and have some power. It is a reason to celebrate. And if you just write, if you like are in that agenda or you're in that space, then the Democratic Party and Trump is that big orange guy, you can't stand him and you're not going to look at anything, it's going to be to your peril, because you have to look at these things. Guys like, and if you just dismiss guys like RFKJr, who comes from a long-standing Democrat thing that, oh, he's an anti-vaxxer, so I'm not going to listen to him. As I said before, it's going to be at your own peril. Storm is coming. Change is coming. And this got me really excited just on his health alone, because people, this is what we have done. Wendy, myself, people like us for years now, sometimes feeling like we're going up against brick walls. People have called us witch doctors back in the day. People have called us voodoo science, but we have in our company a 97% success rate in weight loss, obesity, all this sort of things. I won't get on that too much now, but this comes from something I'm really passionate about for years, because it changed my life initially after I left Los Angeles. I was in bad shape on many reasons. I've talked about this story a lot. But now we've got somebody who's a true hero in the true health that's going to help. It's mind-blowing. It's fantastic, and it's a reason to celebrate. Keep your eyes open. A lot's happening. Talk to you soon.